Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Raw results, Superstar spoilers, which by now is already on, probably. Yeah. His real name is Frank Gertelman, if you didn't know that. You better call me, bro. He turned 37 years old. He was born August 4th, 1977. He is married to former TNA knockout Tracy Brooks, and the couple have a child together. That part I did not know. WWE producer Dean Malenko, aka Dean Simon, turned 54 years old. He was born August 4th, 1960. Japanese legend Kensuke Sasaki turned 48 years old. He was born August 4th, 1966. And Damien Sandow, real name Aaron Stephen Haddad, turned 32 years old on Sunday. He was born August 3rd, 1982. WrestleMania participant Eric Butterbean Esch turned 48 on Sunday. He was born August 3rd, 1966. He's appeared at WrestleMania 15 and knocked out in the Knockout Brawl for All winner as he knocked out Bart Gunn in 27 seconds. Legendary Haystacks Calhoun, William Calhoun, was born on August 3rd, 1934, died December 7th, 1989 at the age of 55. Former WWF wrestler David Hart Smith, aka Harry Smith, turned 29 on Saturday. He was born August 2nd, 1985. Dark match main event for Raw event was listed as Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and Chris Jericho versus Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, and Seth Rollins in the 6-man tag match, which was advertised on the website of the arena. And you'll get the results at the end of the video. The Young Bucks are possibly headed to WWE. It's breaking news, as they were recently with Booker T over the weekend and finally shook his hand as they had a WWE tryout either a year ago that did not actually happen because they rubbed the senior guys the wrong way, such as Booker T and RVD, thus by not shaking their hands. Well, I think they learned their lesson now. They shake their hands, and now they might have a tryout. So, you grow up, learn some respect, you'll get the respect. Give respect, you'll get it. So you learn your lesson. Some notable names that are recently in a new movie of a Kickboxer reboot. UFC champion George St. Pierre, stuntman Alain Moussi, and Guardians of the Galaxy Dave Batista is set to star in the film. And Dave is a heel character of let's see, English martial artist Scott Atkins from the Bourne Ultimatum, Ninja Shadow of a Tear, and Thai star Tony Jaa from Ong Bak are also in discussions to join the remake of the classic from the Jean-Claude Van Damme original action picture, which Chinese Helmer Stephen Fong Tai Chi Zero is directing. Moosey will star as Kurt Sloan, a talented martial artist who travels to Thailand where he learns the secrets of the kickboxer to avenge his brother's death at the hands of Tong Po, Batista's character, as Atkins is eyeing the role of Kurt's older brother, while Jaa would play the Muay Thai master who trains Kurt to be Tong Po. Beat Tong Po. Former WWE wrestler Brian Clark has also landed a movie role in a title character called Bill, the Axeman Talbot, and Axeman 2, Overkill. The film was slated to be released in 2015. Read more at dreadcentral.com. The movie is described as an 80s throwback slasher franchise. Clark also worked as Wrath in WCW and also teamed with Bryan Adams as Chronic. Thanks to .NET member Efren and .NET reader Alan Sale for passing along this story. According to Instagram photo posted by Jose Guerra, Friday Night SmackDown, I'll post a video, the picture of it, is on the move. It's moving to Thursdays in the near future. Unknown for a date yet, as they're still deciding whether to do it. But if they do, It's counteracting their NXT on live programming on the network. As WWE had all their production trucks wrapping redone prior to this week's Texas tapings, presumably because of the loss of the big-time player Captain Comet, who is just too fresh in everyone's hearts. This photo seems to indicate a return to the broadcast day it occupied from its debut in 1999 until 2005. It would also seem that this production truck is way better at breaking stories than we are. If SmackDown does move to Thursdays, it raises more questions than the truck has answers. When will the WWE Network air current Thursday night product on NXT? It says at 7 p.m. Central Time. Is this a move to take over televised wrestling on Thursday nights and the face of Impact's demise? An effort to increase ratings for a show that's only a B-plus player, as they do, as the Authority calls Daniel Bryan. And I've got some news on that as well. If I posted it here, well, I read a story that he doesn't need surgery because the surgery was not the injury to the nerve was not associated with his neck. It was associated to his arm that goes out to his elbow. Okay. Or is it simply a marketing strategy to get to get the most future endeavored? Finally, something to yes about. Here it is, the story about Daniel Bryan's career culminated in a dramatic WWE World Heavyweight title win at WrestleMania, and his fans were dealt with a series of blows. Around a month after the big title win, Bryan would reveal he needed neck surgery, but he and WWE remained hopeful for a quick recovery. Unfortunately, that wouldn't happen, and Bryan would have to relinquish the title. Worse thereof, there was a talk of continuing arm weakness and the need for multiple neck surgeries, which raised the specter that Bryan would suffer the fate of stars like Edge and have to cut his career short while he was still at his peak. Well, thankfully, things are looking up. Not only is Daniel Bryan now a bona fide crime buster, if you didn't know, he caught a criminal breaking into his house and put him in a chokehold until the cops come. But according to the Figure 4 Weekly newsletter, the weakness in his arm is not a result of a damaged neck, but rather a nerve issue in Bryan's elbow, and any additional surgery will be on his elbow and not his neck. Not that the nerve issue is the elbow is nothing, but it mostly takes the nasty career-threatening implication off the table. This is new prognosis. Also means Bryan's return is imminent and will be moved up to possibly Royal Rumble. We have no idea to possibly the Royal Rumble. Of course, there is a very good chance another shoe could drop between now and January, but as of now, it sounds like 2015 Rumble may have a surprise entrant, and a hell of a lot more exciting than Kevin Nash again. Kevin M. attended Hulk Hogan's uncut meet and greet event held in Freehold, New Jersey at I Play America on Saturday, and the following results for the report. The event was hosted by two DJs from a local New Jersey radio station. They were playing to the crowd at the beginning and brought out none other than Jimmy the Mouth of the South Hart to act as a judge of a shirt-tearing and Hogan impression contest. Eventually, Hogan came out to a great ovation, and there they did about 40 minutes of showing different clips from his career on the screens, then talking about it. Towards the end, they took some fan questions that were previously written in. Afterwards, those with VIP tickets got to meet and greet with Hulk, as well as a picture with him and signed a photo. Hulk was great, took time with the fans, and even repeatedly told workers and security it's okay when they were trying to rush people through the pictures. Hulk mentioned many times throughout how he appreciates he is of the fans. It was nice to hear as long time fan of the Hulkster. The guy is a class act. 2 notes of interest from the event. Jimmy Hart all but confirmed the next rumored appearance of Hulkster on Raw. There's also a NWO reunion rumor going on. He started talking about it, then cut himself off and said that probably they don't want him to spoil it, so he won't say anything further but to watch Raw every week, especially next week. And Hulkster came out and said that he is in fact training to be able to get back into the WWE ring. And he said he would want to face none other than John Cena. You can't see me. He was very complimentary of Cena's work ethic and in and out of the ring, and Cena's work with Make-A-Wish kids and charity. All in all, a fun day. The only complaints I heard were that 40 minutes seemed very short, especially given the price of the Platinum and VIP tickets, $250 and $150 respectively. And iPlay being somewhat unorganized, being that the general admission tickets were only $40, so you were really paying to meet the guy and get the picture and autograph with expensive tickets. I didn't care too much about it, only being 40 minutes, but as for iPlay, I did think the lines could have been handled a little better, but nevertheless was more overly upset, and I would definitely still go back there. Chris Blanton and Stu Myrick attended Raw and sent the following combined report on the Superstars taping. Match number 1, Cameron defeated Emma. Match number 2, Sheamus over Titus O'Neil. Sheamus won with a brogue kick during the match. It looked like Titus became dizzy or groggy, and there was nothing to explain it. Chris observed that they would invest some time in Titus. He might get over, as he was pretty over with the live crowd. And I'm going to give, instead of a full report, I'm going to give 2 live fan reports for Raw itself. Again, Stu Myrick attended Raw in Austin, Texas, and sent the following report. The arena was pretty much full, although about half of the mezzanine was tarped. There were several families in attendance. Announcers intros. JBL received a good pop thanks to him flashing the hook'em hand sign, and we were on the University of Texas campus after all. During the video packages, the arena was darkened. Later in the show, it was apparent that the crowd was getting restless during the video packages. Damian Sandow coming out to Boomer Sooner got him a ton of heat. Then again, Jim Ross used to get booed when he would come out to the OU fight song. Conversely, Austin resident Mark Henry received a good pop. Post-match, he went to ringside and greeted former Texas Longhorn quarterback Vince Young, who was also in attendance. He was holding his daughter or son. I couldn't remember because I watched it myself. They didn't say who it was. And there was a huge ovation for number 10 in the WSM, World's Strongest Man. There were a total of 4 video promos for the WWE Network during the breaks. 2 of them involved superstar quotes and fun with vehicles. There was also a promo for Monday Night War series coming soon on WWE Network, but when? We don't know. The crowd was decidedly mixed during the Bo Dallas vs. R-Truth match. At times it seemed like R-Truth was getting more boos than Bo. During one early break, Justin Roberts asked fans to hold up their signs so they could be seen on the Titantron. However, he would then read the signs with less personality than a wet sponge. It was truly a bad gimmick. Notable absentee superstars included John Cena was not there, Brock Lesnar not there, AJ Lee not there, and the Uso brothers. Well, they were there, but they were backstage. This was the first live event that the reporter has attended in a few years. The last Raw that attempted was when it was still a 2-hour show. I was not in favor of Raw going to 3 hours. The feeling was much more, which was never more affirmed than sitting through tonight's event. The crowd could never get into a groove as there was way too much dead time. I actually left after the Seth Rollins versus Heath Slater match because I was quite disappointed in the live experience. Another observation concerns the fans is I know different cities react differently, but paying attention to the Austin crowd reaction during the show, it became obvious that the days of faces getting cheered and the heels getting booed are quickly diminishing. It pains me to write that, and I'm an old school fan, but fans like me are an endangered species, and the crowd reactions were mixed more often than they should be. seeing and hearing it live just emphasizes how flat WWE's product is right now. And the second report, Chris Blanton attended Raw in Austin and posted the following report. Rusev defeated Sin Cara in a match that evidently happened during commercials. After the match, the flag came down and Rusev and Lana had their showdown with Zev Coulter and Jack Swagger. And noted from the match was shown on the WWE app. They are doing construction around the Frank Irwin Center, so you have to park about a mile away from the building to get to it. And the doors open at 5:45, which I was surprised by. No WWE event has been ever open on time anyways. Once inside, we found our seats near the stage. This was my first time going to the Frank Irwin Center, and I was surprised that it was not a very big building. It was full with the exception of the very top level and the hard camera side. I took my girlfriend, who was not a wrestling fan. The typical woo chants got started before the show, supporting Ric Flair. And there was a WrestleMania 30 video package to start things off, followed by a Brock Lesnar and John Cena video package. After the Superstars taping, we got right to Raw. Lots of heat on the Authority, and of course Roman Reigns is really over with the crowd. Commercial breaks are very strange. The wrestlers just stand in the ring or on the stage doing nothing until the show comes back on. I'm not sure how it came across on TV, but the crowd seemed to really be into the entire last man standing match. The crowd seemed to stay hot throughout the show. When the Oklahoma Sooners music played, the crowd popped when they thought it was Jim Ross, and they started booing once they realized it was not. And because it was the music of the Longhorns' rival. After one of the matches, about 30 stagehands came out from the back and moved the ring back towards the announce table. Apparently it had moved. Michael Colesaw had to go backstage and change his suit after Dean Ambrose got soda all over him. So if you watched it, then you probably could see it. I didn't notice it. Dark match main event was Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and Big Show defeating Randy Orton, Seth Rollins, and Bray Wyatt. The babyfaces won to send the crowd home happy. I will say it's very obvious that the WWE is cutting costs. There was no pyro except for Chris Jericho, Rob Van Dam, and Rusev when his flag came down. Big Show had his usual pyro also. Several signs were taken by WWE staff. One guy had a black sign with a name on it. He kept walking back and forth behind the floor seating on the side the camera was facing, so it couldn't be seen on TV. He had a kid in his hand. They came and took his sign and didn't tell him why. WWE has also raised the prices on their t-shirts since the last time they bought one at an event. They are now $30 for most of them, except for the one John Cena shirt, which is $35. Been to two Raws now with a 3-hour format, and this one didn't seem to drag on live. The last one I went to seemed to go on forever. They did a good job of playing videos to keep the crowd into things. No return date was given. Overall, not a bad show. I do find it really irritating that you're 2 weeks away from the second biggest pay-per-view of the year and your main event participants are not on the show. I also never knew what big roles referees play. They keep everything moving. They were rushing wrestlers out of the ring after their matches and promos. After the dark match, about 150 guys came out to tear down the ring. It's amazing how fast they can move. Justin Roberts stayed out across at ringside as they were tearing down the ring to take pictures with the fans. And on WWE, I think it was on .com, Roman Reigns needed 6 staples to close a cut he suffered on his forehead during the last man standing match on Raw. We brought Roman Reigns back to the trainer's room after he sustained a laceration to his forehead when his forehead hit the ring post. And WWE physician Chris Heyman told WWE.com, "We cleaned him up real well and put his 6 staples to close the wound. He's going to be cleared for SmackDown." There's no mention of a possible concussion in this story, so hopefully he doesn't become an issue on Tuesday. Reigns continued to work the match after suffering the cut and didn't seem to have any noticeable issues aside from the bleeding. And that concludes my results for Raw Superstars. And we'll have you birthdays. Thanks again. Peace out. God bless. See you. Wouldn't want to be ya. By the way, if you didn't know, you better call me bro and broettes.